Alright everyone, welcome back again. Alright, this is going to be like our third visit now, I believe. Yep, okay. In the end, I'll go visit the church. I can't remember how many times I've dragged myself here. I can, more than once. The rules of the 4 days do not apply here. I can meet and part with her however many times I wish. The two of us would eventually run out of things to talk about though. New elements do not enter here, so it's only natural that I would someday fill in all the other events. I come to the church to fill the blank spaces. This will be the last time. Visits after this one will mean little to me. It's not that I'm tired, but I run out of vigor. What I need is momentum, not rest. Let's go produce a little energy. The performance was rather short this time. After expecting so much, it's a bit of a letdown, but seeing as it did give me a little bit of energy after I guess it was fine. The grinding heat in my chest feels good. And they do say it's bad for your health if you don't get angry once in a while. However, I'm not satisfied with what follows afterwards. Caren, who has finished her performance again, stands in front of me silent. It may be just me, but she looks to be in an even worse mood than before. You could even say she's standing imposingly. The cloudiness matches this church. Rather than piercing sunlight that makes you feel alive, it is the deathly grayness that matches the church so well. The church itself has a long history, built way before the war. It was renovated after incurring heavy damage during the Third Holy Grail War. A person named Kotomine Rise was dispatched as a qualified candidate who was particularly familiar with the land. He was the father of Caren's predecessor, Kotomine Kire. I wonder if this happened. Guys, I'm forgetting already. I don't know I can't spot the differences anymore, if there are any differences in this particular one, because the markers are back, and there has to be, like, minor differences that I'm missing, or they're showcasing just in, like, small doses. Kotomine Rise, despite his young age, performed the role of supervisor in the Third Holy Grail War. In recognition of his achievements, he was entrusted with this church. With plenty of experience under his belt, he strove for an even better outcome in the Fourth Holy Grail War, but died due to unforeseen circumstances. The local noble magus he assisted suffered unexpected defeat, and the war ended in chaos. The Fourth Holy Grail War, the battle that caused Shinto's Great Fire. The third one was 50 years before, roughly around the same time as the World War, and the fourth one was just as newly modernized economy was about to stagnate. And with the battle Miyashiro was involved in half a year ago, Fuyuki's Holy Grail Wars came to an end. Up to this point, it's been 200 years. It's amazing how much a sacrament has been carried out until now in such a far eastern land. The tenacity of the participants that tried to reach a miracle was near fanaticism. When it comes to the obsession, the Holy Church and the Mages Association are not much different. I do wonder though, is that place on the other side really that good? But enough of that.
わかった。何か話をしよ
う。Oh, she was annoyed from being annoyed.
ではあなたからどうぞ。私には話題がありません。約束はあなたの話が終わってからです。
俺からかよ。
There's no way around it. Having been outlasted in a contest of silence, it is now my job to suggest a topic of discussion. But I've run out of things to say. There's nothing I can chat about with her, nor do I have anything worth asking. There's nothing that's on my...
あ、そういえば。
There's one matter of great interest to me.
何か？
いや、そういえば服が違うなって。あんた、夜は包囲を着てなかったよな。
ええ、それが何か？
何って。どうして着替えるのかなと。あれって包囲とは程遠いだろ。今はシスター全開だけど、夜のあんたはとても神職に見えなかったぜ。
No, that was something else entirely. It was beyond the point where it could be overlooked just because it's also black like a cassock.
それは神父にしては軽装すぎる ということですか？
軽装すぎるんじゃなくて、イメージの問題というか、あの服ちょい派手すぎないか？全体的に黒いし、まるで悪役だ。あんたがずっと包囲姿だったら変な誤解をすることもなかったのに。
うん。あれは悪魔払いを行う時のものです。戦闘用の服装ですから、包囲とはイメージが異なるのは当然かと。
ああ、悪魔払い用の戦闘服なんだ。確かに動きやすそうだったけど、ほとんど裸みたいなもんだし。
つまり私の服装に何か個人的な意見があると？
意見っていうより疑問。動きやすくてもあんなんじゃ不安でしょうがないだろう。というか、誰の趣味だよ。ほら、その下手な水着よりヤバいっていうか、むやみに戦場的というか、なんだ、言いづらいことなんでうまく言えないんだけど、あれ、下を履き忘れてない？
Okay, I think that's a new part. No answer. Does that mean yes?
あれは仕様です。初めからスカートはありません。よこしまな考えはやめてください。
Ah, this woman is really reading my mind.
そうだよな。そんなわけないよな。あんたはシスターだし、誘惑はご法度だよな。悪い。分かりきった質問だった。つい気になって聞いちまったんだが、あんな戦闘用包囲なんてマジありえないもんな。で、あれ、誰の趣味なんだ？
誰の趣味でもありません。あれは私がサイギーの中から選び、手を加えただけのものです。
Oh, so it's your style.
あ、選んだのあんたなんだ。
機能性を重視した結果です。私に求められるものは運動性であって守りではありません。それとあなたから戦場的に見えたのは当然です。あれはもともと男性を誘惑するためのものですから。
は？
I am stunned. For seducing men? Is she serious?
何それ？誘惑はご法度だって言わなかった？
言ったのはあなただけです。私は一言も禁じてはいませんが。
けど、不敬って言ったじゃんか。下を履き忘れてるのはわざとだって思ったら。
男性を引きつけるための服を着ることと報酬で服を脱ぐことは違います。あなたの言いようではまるで私が露出狂のようでしたので。
It seems that's the disrespect she was mad at. From the standpoint of a man, neither seems very different, but exhibitionism certainly would be bad, as it's a crime.
けどさ、なんで男を引きつけるんだよ。シスターってのは低粛であるべきだろう。それともあんた、男なら誰でもいいの？
その男性が望むのなら拒むことはありません。例えばあなたに女性を暴きたいという渇きがあるのなら、それに応え潤しましょう。
That's very odd.
それも私の労働です。好みは常に痛みに応えるもの。あなたが罰を受けることはありません。私はあなたに暴かれるのではなく魔に暴かれる。人間であるあなたが罪を負うことはないのです。
I see. If you think about it, even when she's not doing anything, she's always tinged with the tint of demons. Even if nobody dirties their hands, she automatically gets aroused and comes anyway. It's masturbation akin to self-mutilation. If that's her everyday routine, then of course it wouldn't make much of a difference who her partner is.
うわ。つまりなんだ？日々の祈りと大差ない同じ労働ってことか。参ったな。実は慢性的に誘ってたとか？
ええ、あなたが望むのでしたら。
本当？ラッキー、助かった。俺望んでないから別にいいです。
No, I'm glad. Very glad that I could get by without humiliating our girl. No matter what anyone says, I'm not the slightest bit inclined to try it. Even if she asked me, I wouldn't want no part. But if the condition is that it can't happen unless I feel like it, there's no problem.
それはどういった意味合いの反応ですか？潔白な女性が好みとか？
いや、そういうこだわりはない。そいつがやりたくてやってることなら24時間特会引っかえ節操なしでいいんじゃない？汝の隣人を愛せよってあんたらの売り文句だし。
それと私の労働は違うと思うのですが、私の行為はやはり明確な労働に他なりません。
そりゃますます得が高い。相応の対価と取り替えっこの関係も悪くはないさ。お高く止まって何もなしな女よりずっといい。
I look over the church with a glance. There aren't any statues here. Doesn't look as if I'll be accused of slander.
わかる？仮にあんたのそれが恒常的なお仕事だからって、それを理由に避けたりはしないってこと。肉体面じゃなく精神面の問題でさ。別の情はあっても愛情がないから関わりたくないんです。
Although she keeps wandering around in front of my eyes in an outfit like that, there's no telling how things will turn out. The preferences of a normal adult male are one thing, but to me, those clothes are a little intense.
あなたの考えは分かりました。今後参考にさせていただきます。
あれ？服の話はもういいのか？
ええ、もう十分です。知る気はありませんでしたが、あなたのことがよく分かった。本当、随分と弱っているのですね、あなたは。私の目には吹けば飛んでいきそうなほど小さく見える。そんなに自分が嫌いなのですか？
は？
Her outright provocation produces a burst of energy within me. What did you just see of me with those dead eyes, you...
なんでさ。別に俺、自分が嫌だなんて思うことはないけど、説教なら余計なお世話だから黙ってくんない？
これは私の私服を褒めてくれたお礼よ。諦めて受け取りなさい。それで、あなたが私を嫌うのはどうして？
She jumped straight to the issue. Following her lead, I blurted out.
そりゃ、自分の欲望がないやつは気に食わない。
I ignore the mountain of minor flaws and go straight for the killer one.
ほら、だからあなたは自分が嫌い。聖杯を破壊したエミやシロンには自己に帰る欲望がないのだもの。自分には与えず隣人には与える献身の鏡。世界は正しくあれと祈るようなあり方。それがあなたの生き方であることは間違いない。なのにどうしてかしらね。あなたはそれを美しいと感じられない。
いや、だって。
It's not beautiful in the slightest. The problem comes before even judging whether it's good or evil. I have no intention of trying to live that sort of good-for-nothing life in the first place.
もう誰もエミやシロを責めていないのに、自分の欲望を持とうとしないなんて。ねえ、人並みの幸福はそんなにつまらない？
Ah, I get it. My way of life is, in short, an existence where I don't have the patience to be content with that. There should be as much happiness as there are lives. Just a tiny amount is not worth the trouble, it screams.
うまいこと言うな、あんた。さすがは司祭代理。グーの音も出ない逆説だ。機会があったら今度は本気で叱ってくれ。
ええ、私の小言で10年来の正義感が変わるとは思えませんが、あなたが望むのでしたらもう一度諭しましょう。
I stand up. I should have left earlier as soon as the organ stopped. What I wanted was an energizing hatred. Realizing my disgust for myself is making all of that motivation disappear.
じゃあな、他にやることがありそうだし、あんたともここまでだ。
If I go in any further, I'll be venturing outside my domain. If these 4 days are someone's reproduction of a Holy Grail war, then Emiyashiro and this woman, Caren, cannot meet. If I keep meeting people who are not in battle, my existence as Emiyashiro will collapse.
聖杯を探しに行くのですね。あなたは世界の終わらせ方に気づいたのですか？
A voice rings out to me. Even turning around is a pain.
さてな、遠坂凛が言うには、俺が聖杯の持ち主を倒せばいいって話だが。
With the intelligence I have at my disposal, it just ends with my own defeat no matter how many times I try.
でしょうね。そのためには絵を完成させなければいけない。あなたはあなたの意義を見つけないと。
Meaning means self-awareness, recognizing what it is that I must do. This woman is telling me to find that by myself without someone else telling me.
敵の本拠地を探しなさい。そこに始まりの鍵があるはずです。
お言葉だけど、洋館ならとっくに調べたよ。
見落としがあるのよ。遠坂の跡継ぎにロンドンの話を聞きなさい。
Straightforward piece of precise advice. I don't want to look back, but my feet stop in neck turns. See, that's why I didn't want to look back.
契約違反だ。情報交換だけって話だったのに。
今回だけは特別です。言ったでしょ。次にあなたが来た時、迷っているのなら道を示すと。
Did she really make a promise like that by herself? Really, she's a woman that just does whatever she wants.
サンキュー。じゃあ、これで本当に用済みだな。
ええ。私がエミやシローに関われるのはこれが限度です。
I leave the church. Emiyashiro had not met Caren or Tensei to begin with. It's always been an impossible event. I have no reason to grieve, even if this was our final farewell. There's nothing to do at the church. Emiyashiro should have no more unfinished business over there.
まあ、今さら寄り道の一つや二つ、変わらないか。
I'll just waste some time. Everything just piled on one after another so quickly, both my mind and body are fatigued. Might be a poor motive, but I'll have that woman impart me with some of her vitality again. The music abruptly stops. Caren vacantly stares at me, as if she had just seen a ghost.
なんで中断するかな。今までやめたことなんて一度もなかったのに。
Returning her stare, I take my usual seat. Having come all this way, even this pew is comfortable.
おい、続きどうした？いつもみたいに構わずやってくれ。終わるまで待ってるから。
I thought I'd few years.
いえ、話があるのでしたらすぐそちらに伺います。
That's rare. You're telling me this antisocial woman actually had the capacity to be considerate this whole time? Though I would have liked her to have shown it on the first or second visit. Right now, having my needs attended to just bothers me. Someday, I'm going to teach her how to read the mood, if I ever get the opportunity.
いい。エネルギー不足なんでムカムカしたいんだ。気にせず日課を続けてくれ。
演奏は続けますが、それはどういう意味でしょうか？
Whoops. Doesn't seem that she liked the expression, get worked up.
元気が出るってことなんだが。あんたのオルガンはちょうどいい充電になる。聞いてると頭がビリビリするからな。
The organ playing of yours is great recharging. Listening to it sends a shock to the brain. Unsatisfied, Caren turns back to the organ. Apparently, she can't understand how getting worked up and shocks are related. In any case, the performance resumed. Life is breathed into the non-existent organ once again. Her thin fingers, covered in wounds, touch the keyboard. For the fourth time, the grating melody reverberates in the chapel. Surprisingly, it feels like it's different than before. Perhaps because the performer's fingers were filled with passion. The waves of sound that were only vaguely irritating before now clearly stimulate my nerves. Just like that. I clearly feel my irritation turn to anger, and finally, the rationality I decorated myself with dissolves. Is there nothing you find beautiful? That woman said something like that. My feelings like that had long since gone away. I feel at ease now. All I need to do is see things for what they are. Having a personal sentiment is a burden in many ways. And yet, why? Stop screwing around. A glimpse of a strange landscape flashes before my eyes. I don't understand its significance. Just a desolate wasteland, a summit far above the ground where the air is thin. But why do I recall that now? An irrelevant thought that would not have faded even if it cast away. It's not just feeling of hatred that remains, but this scenery that burned to my eyes as well. Stop screwing around. Why am I remembering this kind of place? There shouldn't be anything. There shouldn't be anything there. Nothing. I can't let my heart waver. If it's too late now, I can't allow myself to embrace something like sentimental thoughts. It's not like the past would change just because I remembered it. It mustn't turn into something beautiful out of some mistaken sentiment, some mistaken fantasy. I affirm the things the way they are. I mustn't think that things which aren't mine belong to me, just because of nostalgia. Your pride is having nothing. Your meaning is in being nothing. When you fabricate something that doesn't even exist, you become no different from a meaningless sacrifice. Ah. Even so, it's still true. It's true that nothing existed here. But hadn't I wished for there to be meaning in that? The performance is over before I knew it. As far as my goal of regaining some vitality goes, I can't help but say it was a letdown. And then I realized Caren is standing in front of me. Now that I think about it, does she want something from me?
あなたがここに来ることはもうないと思っていました。
同感。なんでかな。きっと気の迷いだったんだ。元気が出ると思ったのに脱力させられたし。
自分で続けろと言ったのに。私の演奏はお気に召しませんか？
そうだな。技術レベルじゃ文句はないぜ。その包帯だらけの体でよく体力が続くもんだ。正直感心する。って待てよ。あんた実はオルガンの演奏すごくうまい？
人語に落ちぬ自負はあります。自身の取り柄を鍛えるのは私の趣味です。
珍しく強気じゃんか。そうか。あんたうまかったのか。
I've done something rude. What would she do if I said I'd been appreciating it with the same mindset as watching a school play?
理解していただけて幸いです。ついでに私の演奏のどこがお気に召さないのかを聞きたいのですが。
どこって？聞いてると眠くなるところ。電気使えとは言わねえけど、もっとわざとらしいほど盛り上げてくれないと。あと何でもかんでも受け入れるような芸風もつまらない。もう少し反社会的なシャウトを聞かせてほしい。こう感極まって鍵盤を蹴りつけるぐらいに。
And it'd be perfect if you'd add some heavy distortion.
それは私ではなく曲が悪いということでは。加えて聴いている人間の感性も悪いかと。
何？マナー悪いのかこの観客。
言語に絶するほどに私の語彙では言い表せるものがありません。
I turn away and try not to laugh. I thought this was a hard woman to understand, but I see. She reacts like this when you poke at something she's proud of.
何か？
いや、込み上げてきたものを我慢しただけ。あんた割と機関棒だよな。音楽の先生もしつけるのにさぞ苦労したろう。
あなたの基準で私を決めつけないでください。それとあなたには私の生い立ちを語ったはずです。私は孤立しているのですから、音楽は独学だと思わないのですか？
いるだろう、音楽の先生ぐらい。あんたの音には正しい規律がある。何人もの手を渡って受け継がれてきた演奏者の意志みたいなものだ。あんたのオルガンは自分のためのものじゃないだろう。あんたの演奏は多くの人間のために編み込まれた普遍的な音楽だ。
Only technique can be refined through self-study. A genius can't construct a concept that transcends time. If those who shine through their talent are the flowers of the tree, then those who shine through their heritage become the trunk and nurture the tree.
そんな小難しい話以前に、上達したいなら人に教えてもらうのが一番手っ取り早い。世間体より合理性の方を優先したんだろうさ。機関棒ってのはそういうこと。あんたは本当に好きなもののためなら最善を尽くすタイプだと思うんだが。
あなたの推測にはうなずけませんが、音楽を学ぶために特例として時間と指導者を用意していただきました。何かと問題はありましたが。
ほら、怒られてもめげないっていうか、あんまりダメージいかないっていうか、あんたは根っこのところに他人じゃ動かせないものがあるんだよ。自分がないなんてよく言ったもんだ。ほんと、教会の神父ってのはどいつもこいつも高顔にできているんだな。
Wicked laughter. Huh, what's putting me in such a good mood? I don't know if it's because of the entertainment or if it's because I'm feeling a bit careless, but I'm getting a bit high. On the other hand, she became stiff and stood still. It seems that something had struck home for her too.
そんなに高顔でしょうか、私。
ああ、ここの前任者といい勝負。
She looks a bit stiff as she searches for words. I observe this rare moment of clumsiness. Perhaps I'm in an uplifting mood because my senses have relaxed. The desires I pretended to not see until now begin to pulse in unison with my heartbeat. Oh, she feels it. There's a subtle sound like the tearing of thin vinyl. The scent of blood spills out from the bottom of her vestments.
どうした？生理か？
傷が開いただけです。申し訳ありませんが、
そうだな。一つ後ろにずれるわ。悪い。今のは全面的にこっちのミスだ。
There we go. I moved to the seat behind me. Now that I'm a bit farther away, the scent of blood is fainter.
けどあんたも大変だね。傷が開いたってまだ夜の街を徘徊してるんだ。ってそうか。4日目の夜には律儀に俺を探してるんだっけ？
そうです。聖杯戦争の再現が終わるまで4日目の夜は街に出なくてはいけません。もっとも疲れているのはそれだけではありませんが、最近悪魔払いの真似事も始めましたので。
へえ。
I wasn't actually paying attention. To be honest, just because the smell of blood is fainter now doesn't mean that I'm completely in control. For instance, my eyes are fixated on the wounds hidden by those white bandages, and by those slender arms and shoulders that seems as if they'd break just by being held down. Even by her white belly, wet with blood, that surely is fresh and seasoned, like those Swedish skewers. Sweetfish skewers.
本職の調子はいいのか？